Have you ever been completely thrown off by something small? A sound, a smell, a certain look from someone, and suddenly your whole body is on high alert? Today, we are getting into the nitty-gritty of why that happens. We're talking about trauma triggers. We're going to explore the actual neuroscience behind why your nervous system can feel like it's been hijacked by the past, all without your permission. It's fascinating, and understanding it is the first step to changing it.
In this quote, this right here is the key to the whole puzzle. We like to think of memories as old photos in an album, right? Things we can pull out and look at. But when it comes to really intense experiences, that's not how the brain works. It doesn't file the memory away with a nice little date stamp. Instead, it keeps it in a current events folder. So to a part of your brain, the event isn't over. It's happening right now.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with this idea of the time-blind brain. Then we'll look at how that hijacks your present moment and what that chain reaction feels like inside your body. After that, we'll flip the script and see this as a protective instinct. And then, the most important part, we'll get into real, practical tools to help you reclaim your present and see this whole thing in a completely new light.
All right, let's dive into this first part. The reason a trigger is so powerful is because your brain's alarm system, the part that's all about survival, literally can't tell time. It has no concept of yesterday, last week, or 10 years ago. For that part of your brain, there is only now.
This chart breaks it down perfectly. Okay, on the right, you have a normal memory file. Think about what you had for dinner last night. It's archived, it's in the past. To remember it, you have to consciously go look for it. And when you do, it doesn't send you into a panic. But now look at the left side. This is what we're talking about today, a living experience. Its status is active. It's triggered by a random sensory match, a smell, a sound. And the impact? It's not just remembering. It is a full body, full nervous system reactivation. Your body is convinced it's happening all over again.
So, what does it feel like when one of these active files gets opened on a totally normal Tuesday? This is that hijack of the present we mentioned. It's the moment when a tiny, insignificant event suddenly feels like a life or death emergency.
The scientific name for this is a limbic hijack. Think of it like this. Your amygdala is your brain's smoke detector. It's super fast, super sensitive, and its job is to scream fire at the first whiff of smoke. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, is the fire chief who can calmly check if you just burned the toast. Well, in a limbic hijack, the smoke detector's alarm is so loud it cuts the phone line to the fire chief. It goes straight to the emergency system, flooding our body with stress hormones before your rational brain even knows what's going on.
So have you ever had that experience? You're having a fine day and then a car horn honks a certain way, or you get an email with a slightly weird tone, and bam! Suddenly your heart is hammering, you feel sick to your stomach, and this wave of pure dread or rage washes over you. And it feels completely out of proportion to what just happened. That feeling, that is the echo of a limbic hijack. Your body is reacting to a ghost.
So why does the brain make this filing mistake? Well, let's imagine your hippocampus is the brain's head librarian. Its job is to take every experience, put it in context, the who, what, where, when, and neatly file it away with a date stamp. But during a really overwhelming, scary event, a huge flood of stress hormones basically causes chaos in the library. The librarian gets overwhelmed and can't do its job, so that intense memory never gets stamped with the word past. It just gets left on the main desk as an active file waiting. And when that file is open, calm, clear, independent thinking is nearly impossible, because your whole body is screaming that you're in immediate danger.
Okay, so we've got these active, undated threat files just sitting there. How do they actually get opened and burst into our present moment? It happens through a super fast chain reaction. It's called the Sensory-Somatic Loop. Let's walk through it.
This whole thing unfolds in 4 stages, and we're talking milliseconds. First, step 1, the sensory match. Your senses pick up something that reminds your brain of that old file. Step 2, the amygdala hijack. The smoke alarm goes off, no questions asked. Now, step 3 is the big one, the somatic re-experience. Your body literally starts reliving the physical sensations from the original event, that tightness in your throat, the knot in your stomach, the trembling. And finally, step 4, the cognitive distortion. This is when your conscious mind finally catches up, feels all this terror in your body, and scrambles to make sense of it. It creates a story right now to explain the feeling, blaming whatever's in front of you.
This is just the perfect way to put it. A trigger isn't just a bad memory. It's your entire body's operating system running an old piece of software. It's a survival program that was written a long time ago for a very specific situation, and now it's being accidentally launched in the present day. Your body isn't being irrational, it's being incredibly precise, just running a script from a different time.
You know, it's so easy to feel like your own brain is betraying you during these moments. But what if we looked at this from a completely different angle? What if this whole intense, painful process is actually your brain trying its absolute best to protect you?
The engine driving all of this is something called the HPA-Axis. It's a mouthful, I know, but just think of it as the command chain that connects your brain's alarm to your body's emergency response team, your adrenal glands. When that alarm sounds, the HPA-Axis hits the big red button, and your body gets flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. This is what fuels fight, flight, or freeze. It's an ancient, powerful system designed for one thing and one thing only: keeping you alive.
So the system itself isn't broken, it's actually working perfectly. The problem is just that it's getting false alarms. Your brain isn't trying to make your life miserable. It's acting like a loyal, but maybe a little overeager protector. It sees something that looks even a little bit like a past danger, and it will do whatever it takes to make sure you survive this time.
This chart says it all. Our brains are hardwired with something called a negativity bias. Look at the priorities here. Future survival is way up there, present-day comfort and vitality much lower, especially when there's a perceived threat. Your brain would much rather make you feel terrible and be wrong about a danger than let you feel calm and miss a real one. It's a survival trade-off, and it will always choose survival over comfort.
Okay, this is where it all comes together. Now that we get the what and the why, we can finally talk about the how. How do we communicate with this loyal protector? How do we help our brain finally put the correct date stamp on that old file? Here's the secret. You can't think your way out of a trigger, but you can sense your way out.
One of the most powerful and simple ways to do this is the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding tool. The moment you feel that hijack starting, you deliberately force your attention onto your senses. You look around and name, out loud if you can, 5 things you can see. Then you notice 4 things you can physically feel, like your feet on the floor, the chair against your back. Then listen for 3 sounds. Notice 2 smells. And finally, notice 1 thing you can taste. What you're doing is feeding your brain a constant stream of present moment data. You're giving it undeniable proof that you are here, in this room, and the old danger is not.
And here are 2 more amazing tools. First, label the affect. Actually saying the words, "This is a biological reaction, I am safe now," helps bring that rational fire chief, your prefrontal cortex, back online. Second, practice dual awareness. This one is a game changer. You gently let yourself notice the old feeling in your body at the same time as you keep your attention on something real in the present, like the feeling of a cold glass in your hand. You're not fighting the feeling. You are teaching your brain that this old feeling can exist inside of a body that is currently safe. This is how you help that librarian finally file the memory away correctly.
All right, let's just zoom all the way out. We've gone through the science, the mechanics, the tools, but the biggest shift comes from changing how you think about this whole experience and about yourself.
If you take one thing away from our time together, let it be this. Your body is not broken. Your nervous system isn't faulty. It is responding perfectly based on the experiences it has had. These intense reactions are not a sign that you are failing. They're a sign that your system fought like hell to keep you alive.
That's what your body is. It's a survivor. It went through something hard and it learned. It built this incredibly fast alert system to make sure nothing like that could ever hurt you again. It did its job. It's the reason you're here today. In a way, every single trigger is a sign that your body loved you enough to build a fortress around you. And this is the final, powerful shift in perspective. We are so often taught to be ashamed of our triggers, to see them as a weakness we need to hide. But they're the complete opposite. They are the scars from a battle that you won. They are a biological badge of survival. They are proof that you went through it and you made it out the other side. So, remember this. The thing that caused the wound, that's over. It's done. But the healing is always available right here in this moment. By understanding how your amazing protective body works and by using your own senses to prove to it that you are safe today, you can begin to teach it that the war is over. Thank you so much for joining me today.